social media, anything that has commercials or movies or programs, right? TV shows, because there's so much stuff embedded in that, like you overdoing healthy things. And of course, you always see that person that's like, I don't know, they're like, I'm going raw vegan, and it's like they lose 100 pounds. And welcome. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about repetitive patterns in your life and cycles in your life, and what causes them. What can we do to step outside of these cycles to gain more control in our lives? And what can we do to see these cycles? Because a lot of times we're not aware of these cycles. So let's get into it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be, this is going to be a short one, I do believe. So let's do this. It'll be fun. Let's get into it. So, repetitive, there's good habits, right? People have good habits, but there's also repetitive, like negative habits. Like, for example, say someone that grew up in like an abusive type upbringing, and then later on they become, the type of person in your life that's really abusive, and you kind of want to push them out of your life. And then you kind of feel bad for them because they might have had a bad childhood, right? So that could be one of these repetitive cycles. It's like they can't even control it. You can see how they just need to do it, or they have to do it. It's a habit for them. It's so deeply ingrained that they can't stop doing it, right? They can't stop abusing the people around them. The opposite obviously happens too, where people raised in very caring, loving environments, shown a lot of respect and stuff like that, they continue that, and they stand by it and live by it, and so on and so forth. Another thing too with really abusive people is they don't always grow up in abusive settings. It's new studies are showing that narcissists, half of them, or about half of them, grow up in totally normal settings. So they're actually not abused in childhood. Some of them are, of course, Anyway, it's a very interesting finding, right? Very interesting study. So what other kind of... We're going to dive deep into some other things that are very interesting. There's this guy I used to be into. His name is Jason Christoff. So he is what they call a self-sabotage coach, and it's very, very interesting. He gets into the psychology of, like, everything that you see goes into your brain, and if your subconscious sees things on a repetitive patterns, repetitive sequences over and over again, then your subconscious thinks that's the tribe that you're in, and your subconscious forces you to behave like what you're seeing, like the tribe, forces you to fit into the tribe. So interesting. So there's another angle on that too. And from your life, from 0 to about 7 years old, you download everything you see and hear and feel in like 8K. And then that becomes your your operating system. It's like your hardware. So that's your tribe. That's your first tribe. But the subconscious is always open to looking for a second tribe or a new tribe that you might be entering. And that's where you have a little bit of leeway, because the subconscious kind of controls your behavior and your cycles, right? So the second tribe, it's always the subconscious is always on the lookout for the second tribe. And the second tribe is everything you're seeing in your current day and age. But the thing is, a lot of us spend a lot of time looking at social media, television, TV shows, movies, video games, etc. And we're inundated with tons and tons and tons of ads constantly in our face. And these ads, once you see them on a on a repeated basis, it goes into your subconscious, and then your subconscious pushes you to act it out or do the thing or buy the thing. And this is deep psychology, and the people that are in sales and science and such, they know this. That's what commercials are designed to go into your subconscious and control you. They figured this psychology out a long time ago, a few thousand years ago, I do believe. But of course, they just they did it on stages instead of, we didn't have screens back then, so they did it on stages and in plays. A few thousand years ago, they would have like pendant lockets. The star would wear like the star of the play on a stage would wear like a pendant locket, and then those pendant lockets would sell the next week. Like they would all sell out. Or a dress, and all the dresses would sell out. Interesting. Yeah, so they've been studying this type of psychology for a long, long time. So what he recommends, what's his name? Jason Christoff. He's amazing. He recommends, if you're trying to change your negative patterns for positive patterns, he recommends no TV shows and no movies for a while, and secular music too, because there's a lot of stuff embedded in music. He says like alcohol, cigarettes, junk food, fast food, bad behavior. A lot of this stuff we pick up from, we see it on our screen and then we copy it later on. And it's like we all kind of think that it doesn't really matter. You watch a movie here and there, it's not going to affect you. But it does. Absolutely it does. It seeps into your subconscious and stays there forever. So that's... And with him, he talks a lot about too, like a little bit about childhood abuse. So what he calls it is like a chaos or abuse vibration. He's like, if you're raised in that, whatever it could be, it could just be like parents that ate a lot of junk food and smoked a lot of cigarettes in front of you. That's the same. It's a type of vibration, sort of an abusive vibration. Obviously, there's way more extreme versions of abusive childhoods. Of course, there's like, a million different variations, but we'll say that's a more subtle version of abusive environment. So that same vibration will stay in your system forever, basically. There's things you can do, but you grow up and say, oh no, I'm never going to smoke like my parents because they chain smoked in front of me when I was a kid, and I'm not going to be like that, right? And then you grow up and then it changes. You do something else that's similar, totally different, but similar. Like you eat McDonald's fries every day, or you eat McDonald's whatever, make chicken McNuggets every day instead of smoking every day. And then you become 200 pounds obese, 200 pounds over your healthy weight. Instead of getting lung cancer, you have, I don't know, some other kind of cancer, but it's the same vibration that continues on and on and on. And so this Jason Christoff guy, he's great. He's really, really interesting. He's a bit of a conspiracy theorist, which, he's a bit extreme, but a lot of what he says is really, really good. But he goes even further, and he goes like, you can become... I think I've fallen into this trap a few times, where he's like, it doesn't have to be something that's seen as normally bad for you, like excessive drinking, smoking cigarettes, junk food, fast food, gambling, what else? Over shopping, overspending, over partying, too much random sex with strangers. It can be anything like that. But he said there's a whole nother angle that a lot of people don't usually pick up on when they have this abuse vibration in their system. And that angle is overdoing healthy things. And of course, you always see that person that's like, I don't know. They're like, I'm going raw vegan. And it's like they lose 100 pounds and they're just like, their skin turns yellow and you're like, damn, like, you okay? Uh, yeah, so that would be extreme diets, any kind of extreme diet. Just think like, what would be a nice, healthy, balanced diet? We could all write down a nice, healthy, balanced diet easily, right? Like some veggies, maybe low grains or no grains or some grains, and then protein. Whether you eat veg or meat, a good amount of protein. You need protein, and healthy, lots of water, and maybe a few vitamin supplements, and some breaks, a little bit of fasting. But it's so easy to go overboard and go like, I'm only eating beef for the rest of my life and absolutely nothing else. It's like, that could be the same vibration tricking you, or like, I only eat raw food. You might be missing out on some nutrients if you only eat raw food. I don't know. Or saying, I only eat fruit. I'm a fruitarian. It might kill you. It could kill you. It might, like, for 2-3 months, it might fix cancer or something or whatever, diabetes or something. Say you only ate like 10 oranges every day and it fixed your type 2 diabetes. If you did that for 3 months, you can, but then you go back and start eating normal food again and you don't have diabetes anymore. Like, I don't know if that happens, but stuff like that happens, right? But then the people go, oh no, I'm only going to eat oranges for the rest of my life. I'm never going to eat anything else. And that's where it becomes an extreme health thing, becomes something that's absolutely terrible for you. Another example of that would be like fasting too much. I don't think too many people do this because it's very hard, but I remember I did a 40-day, 28 day fast when I was younger, and I like jogged every day. It was pretty cool. It wasn't that bad. I was young and I could handle it. But some people run marathons, and say if you run one marathon, fine, good. But there's certain types of marathons that are brutal. They're like 50-hour run in like the hottest areas of the world with like no water. You get like one bottle of water. They're like death challenges. Like, you might die. And then everyone that does it, everyone cheers them on and goes, yeah, you're amazing. It's so good. But what if you do stuff like that often? Like, it could kill you. Absolutely. That type of behavior. Like, I'm going to run a marathon every single day for 365 days. It's like, awesome. Yeah. But you might die before you get there, right? From a lack of minerals or a heart attack or something. So that's another way that self-sabotage can happen. Self-sabotage essentially is like, you want to be healthy, and then you end up, some part of you stops you from your goal, but it's you stopping you. But it's like your past memory, your past traumas, your subconscious is controlling you. So one way to fight back is you put in good things into your subconscious. So first of all, you take away the bad things in your environment, like TV, music, and social media, anything that has commercials or movies or programs, right? TV shows, because there's so much stuff embedded in that. Like, you take any popular movie and look at it and count how many times you see alcohol or drugs or cigarettes or coffee or really bad behavior or violent behavior, violent actions, violent words, and write down how many times you see each of those, and you're going to get like 100 of each of them. It'll blow your mind. Like any popular movie, any current like movie, and then you add that up. Every TV show, every movie. So taking away a lot of these things, and of course sobriety, no drugs and alcohol, helps your subconscious in your brain. It helps it it helps you be more like clear, and then when your brain is more clear, you make better choices, and your subconscious is more in the backseat and less in control. But when you're on drugs or alcohol, or tons of caffeine, your subconscious says like you're not doing good, so I'm going to take control, and then your subconscious controls you even more. So sobriety is he recommends full sobriety. Anyway, really good guy. So cycles. Yeah, so I wanted to get to the part where eating an extreme diet and staying on extreme diets is actually a negative, can be a trick and a negative cycle from your past, from your childhood in your subconscious. Working out too much. Say you work out like 3 hours a day pumping iron. It might destroy your joints. It might destroy your heart. I know people that have destroyed their hearts from excessive muscle gain, and their backs. It can destroy your back. Excessive working out, excessive extreme diets, extreme marathon running. All these things. They're the things you don't hear about, right? Anyway, about cycles. One thing is a sort of different topic. In the yogic cultures, Hindu cultures, they talk of cycles so much. It's incredible. Cycles within cycles. There's astronomy cycles, cycles of the moon, cycles of the sun, cycles of the earth. There's weather cycles, obviously, but there's human cycles, like many human cycles, and there's certain year chunks of like 5 years, 10 years, 15-year chunks where your system actually totally changes, and then there's repetitive negative cycles. And I don't know enough about the lingo, how to talk about it too much, but a lot of yogic stuff is about finding and looking at all these cycles and seeing that you don't actually have as much freedom as you think you do, and then what can you do about that. And a lot of these cycles they're kind of karmic cycles, and the way they explain that in the yogic culture is karma is basically like it's action and reaction, but it's also memory of action. So the memory of action can be your ancestors' memory. It's still embedded in you. It's still in your DNA. So how your great-grandpa lived, his habits will come through you. You'll start doing similar habits that as your great-grandpa and your great-great-grandpa and your great-great-great-grandpa. Their habits will live through you. Their type of psychology will live. Your patterns will be similar. It's very interesting. So that's actually a karmic cycle. In one way to describe karmic cycles, because it's like memory, deeply embedded memory in your cells, in your body. So there's many approaches and methods in the yogic culture for breaking free of these cycles, and some of them have to do with your ancient ancestors. They do rituals and meditations and like kriyas and all these things to honor your heritage and your family, but still not be able to step back and create some space between you and that past history, and take back some control. Basically, you're growing free will. It's kind of like people don't really have that much free will, and you're growing it. And of course, just basic meditation. Any good basic meditation done on a regular basis will help you see these cycles and help you see kind of where they started and how to detach a little bit from them, get a little bit of space, and grow a little bit of free will. Yeah, it's very interesting. So I could go on so much, but I've already gone on super long, so I'll just leave you with this. Like 10 minutes of meditation a day will help it'll be a little crack in the window of your negative habits. It'll create a little bit of space so you can breathe a little bit. Another great movie is, or a great movie is Groundhog Day. And a lot of people, I mean, lots of different religions are like that. That describes our religion, but I find it has a lot to do. It's very similar to Hinduism because, I mean, a lot of different religious people have said, "Oh, that's just like our religion," but it is very Hindu because it's like he starts the same day over again, and it's like reincarnation. Start the same day over again, but you still have all these weird quirks and habits and ticks. But when he tries to he tries to get exactly what he wants, all these pleasures, and but then he finally figures out a way to get these certain pleasures. But when he gets them, he's like not satisfied. He's like, eh. And then the way he works his way out of this cycle, death and birth cycle, and these negative habits and negative like desires that he's craving, the way he gets out of it is to evolve and become a great person and help people. And he helps like 20 people instead. And that's why he ends up deriving the most pleasure from that, from helping people. And then he wakes up and he's out of the cycle. He's out of the cycle of the same hell day, right? And that's basically Hinduism. It's like everything's a controlled cycle, but if you work really hard on developing, you can grow out of your negative cycles and your patterns and evolve. So I'll leave you with that. Just 10 minutes of meditation a day is a good start. And sobriety. I mean, most people can't do that in this day and age because it's people live for their glass of wine with supper. I would recommend sobriety, but it's not for everyone. And then movies, television, take 2 days a week, or you put your phone down for 2 days. I know it's ironic because this is YouTube, right? But whatever, it's ironic, take 2 days a week where you put your phone down and you don't look at it except for text messages and phone calls and like FaceTime. And of course, TVs and television, your screen, your big screens, TV, movies, television, maybe video games too. Although video games are not, I don't think they influence the subconscious as much as like programs that you watch, movies and television, unless it's violence, then it does. When you see violence, the way that the subconscious and your nervous system reacts, if it looks real, it's not just, ooh, that was it, gross, I don't want to see that again. It's not that. It's your nervous system thinks that you saw real violence, and it reacts in a negative way, a very negative way, and it kind of hijacks your system in a way and makes you stressed, and it totally stresses your nervous system. And you will be more likely to repeat negative patterns and habits, because again, that's your subconscious saying you're not doing good. I'm going to take control. So you have way less control when you see violence on TV. So I'm going to leave you with that. Have a good evening. Have a good day, and peace. Namaste.